Welcome to the film podcast that nobody listens to. I am Brodey.
And I'm David.
So, David, we just discussed this like 3 seconds ago, but in this episode, we are just going to jump straight into the Halloween franchise because, unfortunately, I don't have much time this week/weekend to do another episode for October. So, we decided to just jump right into the Halloween franchise because we're both huge fans and we have a lot to say about each film. So, sorry to the nobody who's listening to this about The Thing or The Orphanage, but we'll get to that at some point.
We'll get to those.
Yeah.
We'll get to those.
So, all right. So, the Halloween franchise, we might as well start at the beginning. The original classic from 1978.
All right, you want to go first, or you want me to start?
Well, I mean, what can we say? I think we both love the film and consider it a classic, and all that jazz that everyone has said and more, right?
Yeah. It obviously is accredited as the first slasher movie, even though it kind of isn't.
Yeah.
Probably Black Christmas, right?
Peeping Tom and Psycho were kind of like the starters in 1960.
1960, right?
Yeah.
I've heard that too. But yeah, it does get accredited as the first slasher, even though it's not really the first slasher movie.
No, it popularized. It made the genre popular, basically.
Yeah.
Which it deserves, because I remember the first time I saw this, I was way too young. I mean, like way too young. We were all too young to watch horror films, but I know I was really not even like old enough to even comprehend. It's the first scene, the famous POV shot, first scene, scared the crap out of me. I mean, I remember it was in the kitchen, like on our small TV, and I watched that. And when he killed his sister, I was completely and utterly just in shock and fear and just ran out of the kitchen. So that was my first experience with it.
Funny enough, I think I came to the franchise a little bit later on.
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably the first time I watched any of the movies in the franchise, like when I was like maybe 13 or something.
Yeah.
I remember just being so obsessed with the first one after I saw it that I like probably maybe in like 2 days or over a weekend I watched like every installment and was obsessed.
I bet that was a good weekend.
Oh, it was awesome because I remember that was when you're 13, 14 you could do that because you weren't really partying or anything. You're too young to party. You're not really
Yeah.
at that age yet. You can still sort of like plan out your weekend over what you're gonna do and like.
Mm-hmm.
I just decided, I'm gonna check out this entire franchise. I remember doing that, and I just loved it, like, every second of it. Even the bad ones, I was just like, there was still something to take away from the bad ones. I was like, okay, these are fun.
Well, that really is the perfect age to do that. So that's awesome. I didn't do that, unfortunately. I remember my older brother, got started in this franchise before me. So he watched all of them. And then I kind of watched the sequels with him in spades in different years. I can't pinpoint when I watched what. Cause I just remember I've seen all of them, not all at once, in spades. So that's cool. You got to watch all of them like in one weekend at age 13. That's really cool.
I mean, what are we talking about here? Like 11 installments, 12?
Right now there's 12. Back then, probably because you're my age, it would have probably just been the 8 films, right?
Well, I know for sure. I think Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 had just come out couple months earlier. Like a few months earlier, had just come out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so this is around 2009.
But the original, no, you can't beat it. I mean, it really is a classic. It's kind of a marvel to watch because it's very low budget, obviously, but like the way they took advantage of the low budget and just had this lightning in the bottle.
That and they didn't need any gore. That was one of the big things about it. There's barely any blood in it, really.
No, they had a crew of like 13 people. The budget was 300,000. People doing different jobs. They worked for free basically because Carpenter used all the money for the camera and like the editing and the lab and stuff. And the mask was $1, Captain Kirk mask that Tommy Lee Wallace bought and just painted white. Like they literally just struck gold, and they had no idea too, which is so amazing to think about.
I mean, it's obviously it starts with producer Urban Yablans, I believe was his name, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think it was kind of his idea at first,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like what he gave it to John Carpenter, and John Carpenter just wanted to make movies, and he's just like, sure, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was him
They
and
sort of just ran.
yeah, it was him and Mustafa Akkad. They wanted to make a horror movie about babysitters being murdered, and they like John Carpenter's other film, Assault on Precinct 13, which is a good film. So Carpenter got involved, and he said, "I want to do it, but I want creative control." And they said, "Okay, sure." So then he got creative control. Him and Deborah Hill wrote it. Which Deborah Hill is the unsung hero of the franchise. Yeah, she was only involved for the first three, but her input, especially with the first one, because she wrote all the female dialogue, and it's believable because obviously she's a female and she wrote for female characters, but you don't. The other films don't have that because there's no more. Deborah Hill wasn't involved, but her touch really added a lot for something so little. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. She's the unsung hero. She R.I.P. Obviously.
Yeah.
She's gone way too young.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, obviously, I think the whole thing about the original was that John Carpenter kind of wrote out all the like the mythology of how evil Michael was.
Yeah, he wrote Loomis's lines.
Yeah. By what a great speech that was too. So creepy.
My favorite part too.
And yeah, because I mean, and that's all. I mean, it's not just Donald Pleasance, but I mean, his performance in that speech is just like you believe every word that he says.
Yeah.
You know?
He is the backbone of the franchise, which we'll get to the later films, but I think what makes a Halloween film, there are three criteria. You got John Carpenter's score, Dean Cundy's cinematography, and then Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis. Like those aspects is what makes me think that makes the best Halloween film. And honestly, there's only two of them. The first and second when they have all three of those. But like even the later sequels with Donald Pleasance, he really adds so much, which we'll get to those in a bit.
Yeah, and I agree about the whole thing that Nick Castle was the best shape because I do think that he had very particular movements that other guys didn't, and I don't know if it was intentional or not.
I'd say
the way
he's
he
the
moved,
best.
I don't know, as Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't just
I
him.
always liked him, and I know he was like French, right?
Yeah, he was credited.
Wasn't he like a child?
He was he played the shape the most, but I know the scenes where Michael Myers destroyed like the set, like there's shots of him breaking doors and breaking the closet door and stuff. That was Tommy Lee Wallace because he was the production designer, and he said he played Michael during those scenes because he's the one who built the set, so he would know when like the right spots to break the doors and break down the stuff. So, and Deborah Hill played Michael Myers.
And that's him in the closet, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah,
right?
That's him in the closet, which is cool. Like they all kind of played him.
Yeah, I mean, I think like this. I think they like the movie was almost made just like with Scotch tape.
Yeah.
Like it was such low budget. They just kind of pieced together everything that they could, and they just happened to stumble upon one of the most influential movies of all time.
Yeah, it made $70 million at the box office in 1978. That's some insane numbers for a low budget indie film like that. It technically is an indie film.
Yeah, for sure. It's an indie film, and I know it's one of the most profitable movies of all time. I think like behind Paranormal Activity. I think.
Yeah.
And like Blair Witch, the original.
Blair Witch broke the record in 1999 because that was like a $20,000 budget, made over, I don't know if it's 100 or 200 mil, but that movie is great, by the way. I love that one.
It was creepy. Yeah, talk about that one eventually too.
Yeah. But no, the original, and of course you can't talk about it without the score. Like, the score really adds a lot of atmosphere to the film. It really does.
Yeah.
It's great.
Would you say top five greatest score of all time? I think it's right up there.
Oh, I would put it up there. I don't know what my
Because
top five would be, but it would be up there.
I mean, it's really like so effect, and it's got like a Jaws thing about it where it's just a few keys doing all the work.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so effective, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like whenever you hear about the reactions of the crowd back in those days, they'd cover their ears
Mm-hmm.
because the music would freak them out. Like that's what scared them more than anything else was the John Carpenter score.
Which shows how music can affect a movie. And my dad saw this in theaters because he's the lucky one of the family. He said at the end, when Myers sits up with that awesome shot with him unfocused in the background, he said when he sat up, people flipped the fuck out. People flipped shit when he did that. He said it was nothing like he's ever seen before, which is so cool.
And one of the iconic shots ever.
Yeah.
Such a great scene too.
So unsettling, and it's so simple. Like, it amazes me because I know, like, Tommy Lee Wallace has said, like, they were just having fun, like, making a movie. Like, they had no idea it would blow up to be like this. Like, none of them knew at all. Not even John Carpenter. They just were making a movie, you know.
And I'll say this before we move on to the other films, but like
Mm-hmm.
you can really tell how much John Carpenter brings to the original with the way he films. Like his style just brings so much flair to the original
Yeah,
that is like sorely lacking in all of the sequels.
yeah. Mine is three because you know me, I'm a fanboy. But like his touch is really lacking. Even in two, I know he didn't direct two. It was Rick Rosenthal. But
Mm.
Carpenter did have some reshoots, so there are scenes with him in it. It feels like obviously Carpenter just micromanaging Rick Rosenthal. So I don't know. That's not a bad thing. That sounds bad. I'm not trying to jump into two already, but the other ones definitely lack his energy. Besides three, so I know what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you wanna keep talking about the first one? I mean, I feel like there's not a lot we can add to the first
No,
one. It's just the first one is just too, I don't know,
classic,
too
10 out of 10,
pristine. Yeah, it's a
perfect. I
classic.
love it. One of my favorites. You know,
Yeah.
everything and more.
Oh, I guess we could just say like Jamie Lee Curtis, probably the greatest scream queen of all time.
Yeah, yeah, she's great. The cast is great. Just fucking solid movie, man. Super, super solid.
And a pretty ingenious idea of casting the daughter of Janet Leigh.
Yeah,
She's damn smart.
very inspired.
Yeah.
Too bad they didn't do nothing with her in Halloween 2. Speaking of which, let's move on to Halloween 2.
Yeah. Let's go to Halloween too.
Now, for the longest
Uh,
time, this was my second favorite of the franchise, and it's
mhm.
still in my top five. It still is. My problem is, I just wish they didn't do a continuation because this just feels like the second chapter of a story. So there's really no story. It's just, oh, this is what happens after the first one. You know, it kind of feel the pacing is very slow and the new characters aren't as interesting. But you have Carpenter's score and Cundy's cinematography and Donald Pleasance. So like I love those three aspects. So it really helps make me enjoy the movie despite its glaring problems, you know?
Yeah. So that's the thing. For a long time, this was one of like probably yeah again I think probably my favorite sequel
Mm-hmm.
of all of them. I think what I didn't like was like you said, not really. There isn't really a lot of story in this one.
No.
Really, the only thing they added that was of note was that all of a sudden Jamie Lee Curtis is Michael's sister. You know,
Which was written because
I was
Carpenter
really
had writer's block. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
yeah. No, and you're right. And he totally regrets it years later, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that's why they corrected it with the new, you know, quasi remake sequel that is the
Reboot.
2018 one.
He hates Halloween 2, by the way. There's an
Yeah,
interview with him. He's saying he calls it an abomination.
yeah,
Like, damn. Which is so interesting because you could tell, I could tell watching it now that nobody wanted to make it. It just feels like they did it. They
yeah,
did it because they didn't want to get sued, really, by Erwin Laban,
yeah.
whatever his name is.
And by the way, it sucks that he says that because I think it's still a pretty good movie. Like
Yeah.
I still enjoy it.
Oh, it
Um,
has the atmosphere.
I,
Michael's great. The mask is still great. I like Dick Warlock as Michael, by the way. I
yeah.
know he gets a lot of shit. I like him.
No, I agree. He's actually really good. He's got the physicality down. When
Yeah.
he gets shot in the eyes, whatever it is,
Yeah.
it's a pretty great scene. Though he's like sort of just like listening to hear wherever Jamie Lee Curtis is in that room, wherever it is, like in a basement or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, awesome. I don't know. The physicality of Dick Warlock as Michael is really good.
Mm-hmm. Good third act.
Yeah, really good third act. I it's got some really great kills too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a steam, the hot tub, whatever it is down there. That's a great kill.
Yeah. Carpenter shot all the gory scenes because the Friday the 13th came out, all these copycats came out, and he wanted to try to stand out with the gore. So every gory scene, that was Carpenter who reshot that.
It makes sense because I think it's shot pretty damn well. I didn't realize how much he interfered with Rick Rosenthal's work,
Which, not
but
trying to be mean to Rick Rosenthal, but
it kind of makes
clearly
sense. It's
he
really
had a
good.
second chance to do another film without Carpenter, which was Resurrection, and I'm not going to say anything more about that. So I can tell that Carpenter was just whispering in Rosenthal's ear the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. Now that you've actually said it, because I didn't know that, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. It's
Um,
so good. Like, my
Especially
problem
because
is
Resurrection.
the continuation, it's a good film to watch right after the original. Like, whenever I watch both of them, I watch the first one, then I instantly go to the second one because I like that it's a continuation. It feels like the same film. I like to see more of Michael and Loomis. I just wish that they, because the original idea was Laurie would have been like 3 years later in like a high tower apartment and Michael comes after her. Tommy Lee Wallace was originally picked for the director, but when he read the script, he said, "Nah, fuck that. This is bad." So then he left. That's when they got Rosenthal, and I just like I love the continuation for because it feels the same and like oh like more of the night. But then I wish it was a whole other film because then I just never pop in Halloween 2 randomly on a Sunday afternoon because I want to watch Halloween 2. No one does that. You watch it right after the original.
Yeah, you kind of have to watch them back to back.
Yeah.
Um, and, and like again, I think one of the things I really like about it is like the panning shots where they just sort of like follow Michael through the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think the way I'm sorry, like the way it's shot pretty damn good.
Yeah.
All those shots and whatnot, pretty great. Like you almost knew that you were in for like a completely different type of Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he kills that first girl that's on the phone.
Yeah. Super good kill.
The way the blood just sort of like splashes in your face, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like a different type of kill.
The music
Um,
slaps. I love the synthetic, like synth like score from the original. It gets more
yes,
synthy. I love it. It's so the organ in the beginning is
underrated
great.
score.
Yeah, great
Yeah,
score.
nobody ever talks about the score of the second one like they do the first one, but it's really good.
Well, what happened was Alan Howarth, who became involved in all of them from then on. He did 2 through 6, 4 through 6
Hmm.
without Carpenter. But I read up that Carpenter just gave Howarth the score from the first one. Just says, "Hey, redo it with synth." So he just redid the score with synth, basically.
Yeah, and it's great. I
It
think
works.
that's a really good score. Yeah, and
Good
then obviously
atmosphere.
we'll get into three, but has a great score too.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a sec. Don't worry. But no, the second one
Yeah.
has the atmosphere. It's eerie. Donald Pleasance, like it has the formula from the first one. It's just you just the new characters suck. Like if they were gonna have Jamie Lee Curtis use her, but they don't. But then they bring in these new characters and they don't do anything. Like they should have had what's his name, Jimmy, played by Lance Guest, who I met in real life, really nice guy. He should have been the central protagonist, you know, where we
Oh
follow
yeah,
his
hundred
character,
percent.
you know.
And you could tell he could have been like a good leading character in the movie. They just didn't really
They didn't use him.
hand him the reins or anything. Yeah,
He just fucking has a concussion. He slips on blood, even though, which was a really creepy kill. That nurse who that's just grosses me out in a good way. He just slips,
yeah,
and he's done it for the movie. It's like, dude, how'd you slip? You slipped purposefully. Like you could have just walked slowly. What the fuck are you doing?
yeah. And I kind of get him being traumatized the rest of the movie. Like I get that aspect of it, but they could have given him more to do. I don't know.
Just
Just sort of done after that.
the second act of that movie is just so boring. I I love the first act where we follow Michael around, where we see him kill people. Loomis is freaking the fuck out, and the third act is awesome when Michael bashes through the door. Jamie Lee Curtis is trying to get in. Like the intensity's there, and that whole shit happens. But the second act of Halloween 2 is just a slog. It is so hard to get through, man.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, it's got its issues. Obviously, like I think probably my biggest issue with it is all of a sudden that's Michael's sister and she didn't remember. It's just
Yeah,
like what?
she didn't even she was never told. She never had a scene where she was told.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Nobody. You're right. Nobody tells her. Somebody tells Donald Pleasance.
Yeah,
Nobody tells her.
Nurse Marion. Nurse Marion tells her, which is funny
Yeah.
because Rob Zombie's 2 is the only Halloween film that when Laurie realizes that huge revelation, which is kind of funny to me. And I don't know about you, I hate the family aspect. I love 4, 5, I love the fourth and sixth film, but I think the family aspect ruins the creepiness of Michael Myers because then, oh, he has a motivation, so he's less scary. So if you watch the original, I hate when people say, but the original film, he's after his sister. No, he's not. In the original film, he is an escaped mental patient who kills babysitters. That's what I consider. Halloween 2 is like a little tacked on continuation. But for me, I like it better when he has no motivation, which these new films could have done better with, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, yeah, I'll say that. I like that the first one is just he sees her and just decides spur of the moment I'm gonna kill that girl for no reason.
Yeah.
That's a lot creepier than oh hey, I'm gonna kill like everybody in my family for whatever nonsense. I'm like no,
Yeah.
get out of here.
But that's so embedded in pulp culture that like they have to just like these new ones are trying their best to like well, I'm not trying to talk about them, but like they either have Laurie Strode as the sister or don't have her at all. That's the thing because it's going to be confusing for people. So it's funny how Carpenter regrets the family thing because he wrote it. If he didn't want to write this film so bad, get another writer. Why did he hated this film, but he wrote it and he chose to write it and be involved. Then don't be involved, man. I know he probably just did it for money, which I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Oh, have you ever heard that quote from him? He said, whenever a new Halloween movie is announced,
Oh yeah.
he sort of like kicks back because he just knows he's gonna get like another check in the mail.
Good for him.
And I'm like, okay, that's awesome.
Good for
yeah,
him.
I'm like, that's cool. I mean, it's no wonder that he doesn't really direct films anymore. He just sort of cashes in, and that's awesome.
I don't blame him.
Retire in luxury. He deserves it.
Yeah. I think he's involved with these new films because Blumhouse is actually paying him like the money he deserves.
Yeah, which is cool. I'm glad they actually were smart enough to do that because it's smart that you're doing that.
Yeah, pay him money for his score, which really helps these new films. And we'll get to those. But
It's him and his son doing the new scores, right?
And I think it's his godson or some sort of like something.
Oh, okay.
Like family friend. There's 3 of them.
Okay. So yeah, not a lot to add with the second one. I'll say this: I still think because obviously after the original, there was just so many knockoff, so many knockoff like Halloween type of slasher movies.
Mm-hmm.
It started a genre basically.
Yeah.
And then Halloween 2 came out, and I think Halloween 2 is definitely the best of the slasher bunch, especially of sequels and whatnot. Like,
Yeah.
Friday the 13th doesn't really have any great installments. Like, let's be honest. Like, there's a couple in there that are like, all right, these are pretty fun.
I love part 6. I love that one to death. That's the only one I really truly love of those ones. Part 4 is also good, and part 2. So basically, the even Friday the 13th are good. And Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm sorry, fans of Dream Warriors. I only like the original. I don't like any of the sequels besides New Nightmare. That doesn't really count. That's not really a Freddy sequel. I don't like any of the Nightmare on Elm Street sequels. They're just, I don't want to get into it. But, yeah, I would definitely agree. Halloween
That's
2.
fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and then I do think it's really funny. I also just recently rewatched or just watched for the first time this documentary on first Friday the 13th, and
Mm-hmm.
they very openly acknowledge like that they ripped off Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Like they weren't even like, oh yeah, we totally ripped it off.
Which, good for them for admitting it. And the first Friday the 13th it's, for me, it's a solid 3 out of 5. You know, I appreciate it. It started this whole very popular franchise, but like, it's just a fine movie. It's okay, you know?
The twist is really the oh wow, it's his mom. Like that's really the oh that's cool.
Yeah, Jason's not even in
Aside
it.
from that, yeah, and oh okay, and obviously the last scare with Jason. That's a great jump scare. That's
Yeah,
really like the two biggest. Oh hey, that was awesome. Like moments
yeah,
in that first movie. That's pretty much it.
yeah. Besides that, that franchise is hit or miss, and I like part 6 a lot because that's when he's actually like self-aware that he's like this unstoppable force. It's awesome to watch.
The movie itself is pretty self-aware. I like that one too. You're right. It's Jason Lives, I believe, right?
Yeah, Jason Lives, where he gets struck by lightning and Frankenstein monster back to life. I love that. It's so. Finally they realize this is fucking stupid. Let's have fun with it. And it's a fun, entertaining, awesome movie.
And it's so. I mean that the way he gets brought back. We shouldn't get into the other one, but
Yeah,
into that other franchise. But the way he gets brought back to life is just laughably dumb.
we should
That
definitely
character that does that.
we should definitely talk about that on Friday the 13th, whenever the next one is, and post it. Then that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be awesome. Well, I don't know when's the next Friday the 13th. I don't know when it is, but we got to do that for sure.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about part 2, Halloween 2?
No, I think we're good. I think we're gonna need a little while on part 3. So
What would you rate Halloween 2 first? Because I would rate it as solid 7 out of 10.
that's my score. Yeah,
Okay.
7 out of 10.
We're both on the same page. So, all right. On to the third film, the one that I will never shut up about that people on Twitter hate me for. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, 1982, directed by Tommy Lee Wallace. The one without Michael Myers. My favorite of the franchise. Yes. My favorite of the franchise. So, David, what are your thoughts on this? You could be as brutally honest. You could say, Garrett, this movie sucks. I don't know why you like it. And I'd be like, I totally get it.
I don't know. No, I'll say I haven't seen this in like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta rewatch this one. But I like it. I don't love it like you do. Too early to tell scores, but like I think it's a 3 out of 5 for me. It's a
Okay.
good movie though. I really enjoy it. I think it's a lot. Obviously, it's just. Remember, I told you I watched the entire franchise in one weekend. I remember getting to this one and being like, "Where's Michael?"
Right.
Like
Everyone's
throughout the
question.
movie, I was like, "Who the fuck is Michael?" Yeah, and I think it's of all of them, it's kind of the most. I don't know. It's the most fucked up plot. Like you're killing children in this movie
Yeah.
pretty exclusively and pretty horribly. When they show that kid's death in like that little experimental room or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever's going on in that room, I'm like, God damn, that is brutal.
By
And
far.
as a kid, I was not a fan of bugs, so that
Oh,
scene in
yeah.
particular is just disgusting to
By
me
far the
when
scariest
I was a kid. Yeah,
scene of the franchise for me.
yeah, that scene is brutal. Um, and when I watched Home Before Dark, I was like, yeah, I wonder how Brodey discovered this movie. It's kind of like I'd never heard of this, and I realized, well, same actor as Season of the Witch, right?
Yeah, Kyle
Is
Cochran,
that how you
Dan
found it?
O'Hurley.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
and
how I
he's
discovered
great.
that.
He's great. He's great in Home Before Dark. He's fantastic in this. He's so creepy.
Oh, he's so good in this. They just they
He's
the
got this charisma about him.
I know, and like he's a huge reason why I love the movie so much because he is so just creepy but charismatic. Like I believe everything he's saying, but also like his what he's doing is so fucked up, but he really believes what he's doing is the right thing, which makes a good villain in my opinion. When the villain is so convinced of their motivation that they believe that this is for the right thing, and his reason is because he wants to bring Halloween back to its sacrificial roots for Samhain, to sacrifice children and animals to satisfy the gods, the druid gods, and the planets and the stars. And it's just like that's so Halloween. Like for me, this movie feels like if Halloween was a movie, like the feeling I get, it's this movie. That's why I love it so much because I love this time of year, and that movie gives me that feeling. I just feel it coming off the screen from the atmosphere, the music, the performances, the plot. All of that accumulates into one film for me, and it's a cheesy '80s horror movie, but to me it works very well. You know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I totally agree. That score is so great,
Oh my
by the
god,
way.
I have it on CD. It's in my car right now. I'm such a nerd. I listen to it on my way to work and stuff during this time of year because it's just like it puts me in that mood. And I love it because I love that they didn't copy Halloween 2 or the first one. They just did their own thing. Um, I watched behind the scenes, and Alan Howard said that at that point they were so familiar with each other. They worked so well together. All they did was just watch the movie and just play. He said they called it the electronic coloring book because they would just watch the movie and play. Um, and they did like so many scores that year. Like there was Escape from New York, The Fog, this movie, Halloween 2. They didn't do The Thing. That was Ennio Morricone, which good score. But so they work so well together. They just watch the movie and play. And their score for this movie is one of my favorite film scores ever, like ever.
Yeah, I mean it's great, and I remember one of the scenes that stands out to me too is when the dad gets just brutally murdered in the hospital in the beginning of it.
Oh my god, yeah,
His nose gets like ripped out almost without
yeah.
actually getting torn out.
Like his skull got ripped apart, and the when Tom Atkins, badass by the way, chases him and the camera's running from him and the music is done like Carpenter's score. It's just like this is fucking awesome, man. Who I can't I can't
That's
understand
so
people not
white
liking it.
knuckle intense.
But like, how can you watch that scene and not think this is awesome? You know, like I don't
It's a
understand it.
great scene.
Just yeah,
That's a great scene. Yeah. I know he sort of just like offs himself. I'm like,
yeah.
what the fuck just happened?
Like people say it's boring. Like, do you not see like like instantly the guy's running from the car. They're coming for us. Who's coming for us? And he gets killed in that brutal way. Then the car explodes. Then you're like, what the fuck's going on? Then you follow the most. I call him an anti-protagonist because one thing I love about this movie is it doesn't care. Tom Atkins has no bearing on the plot. He does not belong on this adventure, and he only goes to get a piece of ass, which I think is hilarious. So like it's such an anti-Hollywood movie in my opinion because the protagonist, why is he there? Because he wants to fuck that girl, and it's really funny that that's why he's there. But then of course he gets involved, but like he really has no bearing whatsoever, and I kind of like that about it. It's different. It's not that typical like cop good guy. You know, he's kind of an asshole who doesn't be with his kids and he drinks a lot. Like it's so interesting to me. You know,
Yeah, and you're right. It really is just him wanting to fuck a really young girl.
which to be fair, that
Like
sex
that's
scene
real.
is bad. I hate that scene. I skipped through it. I That's
Yeah,
one thing I'm like they could have cut that down really a lot.
yeah, for sure. A
That
lot. It's a lot. That scene is a lot.
that's so 80s, but I really seriously whenever I watch it, I either fast forward or I get up and refill my drink because I just like I mean just ugh. It's funny to me, but it's also like really creepy and gross, and I wish they just cut it. That's my only real problem with the movie is that. Besides that, I love everything else about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume it's a 5 out of 5 for you, right?
Yeah, my favorite scene though is when Cochran gives his monologue about like Samhain and like his plan. And I know people are saying, but like the villain given his plan is so cliched. I know it is, but and my thought is Cochran is in this small town that he runs. He's with a bunch of robots. Basically, no one's human. So he finally gets a chance to tell his story and to the one human who would listen. So I think that's why he actually tells the story, which makes it a little more interesting and kind of sad in a way.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. He does have the Bond villain sort of this is my plan sort of a speech to it.
Yeah,
It's a I don't know. I enjoy it.
I love it.
It's pretty whacked out. Yeah.
It's batshit insane, crazy. I'd recommend it. I know I could talk about this forever, but yeah, I definitely solid 5 out of 5. This is my favorite horror film. So I plan on writing about this and posting my review on my websites on Halloween this year. So I can't wait to finally write about it and go more in depth
And
about
you see,
why.
as horror fans, I like that you and I have like two movies that most people would not have as their favorite horror movies.
Yeah, no, and that's what's
Like,
great about horror because our picks are so not typical. Because you think of like Psycho, Halloween, The Thing,
yeah,
Exorcist, which they're all great movies. Don't
The
get me wrong,
Shining,
The
yeah,
Shining, but like these movies to us, they're our favorites for reasons we just explained, and obviously and more.
yeah,
So it's awesome.
yeah, totally. Um, I'm sure we'll sit down and do like an entire pod episode on Halloween 3 eventually.
I'm down. No, I'm down.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have to. There's a lot to get into
Yeah, there's
that
so
one.
much, and I'll put my review will go over everything. I can't wait to just. I'm gonna take like a few days to just write out everything, and I can't wait.
Yeah. You want to hop into Halloween 4?
Yes, Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers, 1988. So I'm sure people who are not listening to this would know that Halloween 3 was supposed to start an anthology series that didn't work out, obviously, which I think would have been a great idea, but that's just me. So they brought him back, Michael Myers in Halloween 4, and I used to not like this movie, but recently my brother loves this movie. He champions it. This is one of his favorites. This actually is his favorite sequel. And after rewatching it a lot, I've come to really love this one. It's not perfect. It's my fourth favorite in my ranking. Um, I think it's top, like from start to finish, it just goes, and I really appreciate what they're going for. I like the direction, the writing, the new characters, the old characters. I really like this one, man. What are your thoughts?
This has always been one of my favorite sequels in the franchise. For a while, it's probably like my second favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's I think what I like about it, I agree with you. By the way, I've never liked the family aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I like the idea of, oh hey, he's been comatose for 10 years after basically getting burned alive in the second movie.
Right.
So he somehow lives, and one of my favorite things about the opening is that could have easily started like you always do with the Halloween theme, but they don't. Kind of
Yeah.
like just they start off with the intros like, "Have you heard who you're taking? This patient that you're taking or whatever."
Yeah.
And as they start willing them away, that's when they throw on the theme, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that was perfect. Like
Yeah.
that's a perfect opening."
Oh yeah.
And I feel like in this one, the Halloween 4 is when he really starts to be extra brutal, even
Oh,
more
he's
than the
so
second one.
strategic in this. Like he cuts out the power,
Mm-hmm.
takes out their like phone lines, kills an entire police force. I always forget he does that. Like he killed like 12 cops. He
Yeah.
is non-stop, and I love how just he just goes. He just goes so much in this, and he is super scary. Which, by the way, the intro, like the quiet ambiance shots of like a field and Halloween decorations, is excellent. One of the best openings in the series. One of the best endings in the series too. Um, I love it. His mask, people give it shit. I don't think it's that bad. It's not good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the worst of the series at all.
It's not the worst. There are some really bad ones in the series.
H2O. But yeah, like no, Halloween for Michael, George Wilbur is excellent. I think he's great. He's brutal. He just does so much. He's like almost like a precursor of Halloween Kills Michael. Like he's so fucking brutal and strategic, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the way he kills the paramedic in the very beginning, puts his thumb through his
That always
forehead.
creeped me out when I was a kid. Always creeped me out. Like ugh, you know.
And it seems like whoever they put in the Michael Myers mask in this one is like a lot bigger than the
Yeah.
first two. Whoever that guy was looks like he's a 6'4" behemoth of a man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so naturally each one of the kills is a lot more brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Danielle Harris in this.
Yes,
She's a really good. She was a really good kid actress.
she's
Really good.
awesome. I met her in real life actually this past year. I met her before, like a few years ago, but I saw her again this year at Horror Hound. Super nice, super cool. She's really short. But my brother and I even told her, like, you should
Oh,
be in
is
these
she?
new films. And she's like, yeah, I know. She should be in these new films. But no, she's great. Super nice. She's awesome in this movie. She's such a good kid actor. Still a good actress. But she's a highlight. Like, she really brings a lot of heart to the role. And I really like how they focused on her because Jamie Lee Curtis did not fuck that after becoming a big star. So they really good idea bringing her niece in here, and I really like the idea. And I like Danielle Harris, and she's just a huge highlight of this movie and the next one, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah. And um, I don't know if I want to go straight into the ending,
You
but
can if you want.
like the ending is fantastic.
Super
I
creepy.
love that
I
ending.
love it. It's one
It's
of the
so
best.
creepy. And then obviously a lot of it is Donald Pleasance's
Oh,
his yelling and his shriek of "Oh my God, I can't believe this happened."
yeah,
It's so good. It's such a fantastic ending.
it's excellent.
Um, and I think that the franchise would have stayed in a really good place if they'd done Halloween 5 and that had been like
I know.
come through.
I fucking know.
But they fucking ditched it, and I was just like, no, why would you ditch it? It was such a brilliant idea, and it moves along what what John Carpenter's original idea was for Michael, which was that he was just this kid that was possessed by evil all of a sudden.
Yeah,
It would have been amazing if somehow his niece it happens the same way to his niece. I don't know. I just would have loved it, and I mean, obviously the ending of basically it almost goes shot for shot with the start of the original in the way that he kills in the way that she kills her mother,
yeah.
before going downstairs.
I love that
I mean,
contrast.
it's so good.
I have two
Yeah,
more.
that's why I've always loved Halloween 4. I agree with your brother.
I only have two more things to say. One, Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis is the best. I love the scene in the intro with the diner where he's like, please stop, take me. I love that's my favorite scene where he's talking to Michael with the mummy mask on and he shoots him and he escapes. Love that's my favorite scene. My only problem, the reason why this isn't a 10 out of 10 for me, and I hate that I have to talk about this, but as it gets on, it gets more sillier, which I'm okay with because these movies are silly anyway. But when Rachel, who Ellie Cornell is great in the movie too, Rachel and Jamie escape with the rednecks. They're outside. They're surrounding the truck. There is no fucking way Michael crawled underneath the truck. They drive away. He comes over the fucking tailgate with one knife in his hand, which means he was holding on with one fucking hand and kills everybody with the driver not knowing about it. And I hate that scene. I hate it. It's too silly for me, man. It's just, I hate that. There's no fucking way he got underneath that truck. There is no way. No fucking way. I hate that. I really hate
The
that.
rest of the movie is kind of like grounded and not necessarily realism, but it's more realistic.
Yeah, that
He
scene,
just sort of comes out of nowhere in that
it's
scene.
stupid. I hate it. My brother
Yeah.
and I always talk about that, but that's the one thing I don't like about it. But I still love this one. It's super awesome. I'm glad it's a fan favorite because it really is, and I'd give that one a 9 out of 10.
I also I don't think I have any of the sequels above a 7. This is also like a 7 to me.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's shot as well as like 2. I think if it was shot as well as 2 is,
yeah.
it's probably like an 8 for me. But I still think it's really good. I think Sasha Jensen. I don't remember Sasha Jensen. I think he's kind of an underrated
Oh, he
actor
was in
that never really.
Dazed and Confused, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is he's great in Dazed and Confused, and I remember him in this.
He's good in this
His
too.
career never really took off, but he's really good. I've always liked him. He was a really good actor.
I agree. Yeah, Dwight Little shot this. He's from Ohio, which is kind of cool. And it's not. I think it's better shot than Halloween 2, even though John Carpenter was involved. I do like how he shot it, but without Dean Cundy, it does lack that oomph, that the other ones had. But still, I still think it's pretty well shot. It's better than the fucking next film, that's for sure. Jesus Christ.
All right, I think we're gonna have an interesting convo about this next one.
I hate this one. I mean, I don't
All
think
right,
it's
so
bad. Halloween 5 is not the worst. It's not the worst. It's just a boring, poorly shot stupid fucking movie, and I don't like it. It's not, it's towards the bottom for me, but there are other films that I don't like worse. This one I can't. I never watch this one as much anymore because I
Yeah.
used to watch it a lot on AMC Fear Fest, but it's just they took the wrong story idea. They've rushed it. Michael
Or you
Myers.
just hate watching it?
I mean,
Would you like hate watch it or something?
no, like back in the day, I watched it because I would always watch like 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. That was always on AMC Fear Fest, so I always watched this one. But like now, when I watch this, just it's boring. Michael looks like shit. Loomis is an asshole. There's no fucking story. They kill off Rachel too early. The new characters suck. There is nothing good about this movie. Seriously, there's like the laundry chute scene, which is great. And that's about it. I really don't like anything else about this movie, honestly. I just have a nostalgia for it. That's kind of why I always gravitated towards it a little more than the others, I guess. I don't know.
I don't remember. You might be able to remind me. What's the character's name? The girl that she's so attached to.
Tina.
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 That is one of the most annoying characters I've ever seen in any movie.
Not the actress's fault at all. She has nothing to do
Oh,
with
not
it.
the actress, not the actress.
It's the director and the writer.
Fucking annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate this one, man. I mean, it's just bad.
Here's the thing, though. I'll say this: I didn't hate it initially. Like I remember as a kid when I first watched it, I was like, "Oh, this one was kind of cool." I just like the idea. I think the idea isn't too bad of like Michael somehow controlling her because they have some kind of weird connection.
Yeah.
But I think it started off bad as soon as you ditched the idea of the of the fourth one, which ended so perfectly to me.
Yeah.
I just hate. Yeah, it was just from the get go when I started watching Halloween 5. I was like, oh, how is this gonna start? Like, because I had never seen it. And it doesn't do anything with the ending of the fourth one, which is so disappointing.
No, they retcon it. She didn't kill her stepmom. She just injured her. Now she's a mute. They waste Daniel Harris in this. They waste every old character in this movie. Donald Pleasance is a nut fucking crazy bag who screams in her face the whole time. Daniel Harris does nothing. Not her fault. It's funny because, dude, there are like 3 different situations in this franchise for me where a good sequel like 4 has a shitty sequel like 5 that just ruins it. H2O, I don't like it, was good amongst people. Resurrection completely shits all over that one. 2018, people like that one, but for me, Kills just shits. Like, it's amazing how this is like this happens over and over in this franchise to me. How the fourth one was so grounded, so good. People liked it. Oh, cool. Jamie's the new killer. Like, this is going to be interesting. Nope. Michael's still alive. He was just fucking some hermit for a year. And Jamie's a mute now. And Lupus is a nutbag. And there's no story. And there's a man in black that will not explain in this movie. This is filler. This is the first filler Halloween movie. There's other ones we'll get to, in my opinion. But this one... There's nothing. It is like the Friday the 13th Halloween movie, in my opinion. There's like nothing in this fucking movie.
Totally. Because like the Friday the 13th, I think they were already like 6 or 7 movies in at this point.
Yeah.
Like a 7-year span or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why this one, I think it came out back to back with Halloween 4, right?
Yeah.
The next year. So
and it grows
they almost didn't have. I was gonna say, I think it's because Halloween 4 did so well financially that they were just like, all right, just throw another one out there.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have a script ready, they didn't have anything ready, and it was just shit. And that's why it turned out so bad.
Well, because the first one made $70 million, second one made $25 million. The third one was not a flop, by the way. The third one was a $2 million budget, and it made $14 million, which is that's a big profit. Part 4 made $17 million, and this one made the least of any of the franchise. It only made $11 million on a $5 million budget, and it deserves nothing. Like, I have this one ranked, I guess, in the middle of my ranking, which I know I'm shitting on it a lot, but it just pisses me off because the director was named Dominique Othetin-Girard, did not know what the fuck he was doing because he changed the mask, he changed the Myers house to a blue gothic mansion, like it's the Munsters or something. What the fuck is this? Like, what? He just came in, we're going to kill Rachel because she's boring. I'm going to bring Tina in because she's funny. Like, this guy didn't know what he was doing. He had no fucking idea. And this movie is the worst shot film of the franchise. Yes, worse than Resurrection. I'm sorry.
For sure.
This one sucks. It really does. And it breaks my heart because I used to like this as a kid. I really did, because the laundry chute scene creeped me out. The barn scene creeped me out. Michael did creep me out back in the day, but like it's just boring and dumb, bad dumb.
I 100% agree. It's on the lower end of my rankings. Again, I liked it when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, I'll say this: there are worse ones in this franchise, believe it or not.
yeah, I agree. There
And
are.
all right, so I mean, are we done with this one?
I'm good. I still kind of watch bits of it on TV on AMC Fear Fest. Like I never ever ever pop this in. Like I want to watch Halloween 5. Like I'll watch this drunk with my friend to make fun of. Or I'll just watch it at AMC Fear Fest with my brother if we're together and it's on. Like, okay, fine. I'd give this one a 5 out of 10. I know it seems high for how much I've been ranting on it, but there are some things about it. Daniel Harris, Donald Pleasance, the laundry chute scene. Michael was good in some scenes. Like, there are some positives that I mostly didn't talk about, but I still give it a 5. Halloween 5 gets a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I think it's probably maybe like a 4 out of 10 for me. I don't know. It's not as terrible as a lot of other people make it out to be. It's not
Yeah.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2,
Oh.
but
Oh, wait till we get to that one.
yeah, well, I can't wait to get to that one.
All right.
But yeah, I don't think this is a good movie. It's pretty. I mean, it's not horrendous, but it's not a good movie.
Right. Well, this one's going to be interesting because I don't know what your thoughts on this one. Halloween 6, or Halloween the Curse of Michael Myers, not Halloween 6. This is a film that the fans either love or hate.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now,
I
we're
love both
talking
cuts.
about we're talking about the theatrical version, right? Not
Yeah.
like the.
To make
Okay.
things easier, I love both cuts. So I can talk about both, but I can talk about the theatrical cut only. I love both cuts. I love this one. I know people hate it. I love it. What are your thoughts?
I like it. Um, I think Michael's again. I think as brutal as he's ever been in any of the other movies in this one.
Yeah, he's the most brutal in
Um,
this one.
Obviously, this is the last one with Donald Pleasance.
Yeah, who's great.
So, like, I feel like, yeah, he's great. Even like as an old man in this film.
Super old, man. He died after
Like
they
his
finished filming.
presence. Yeah, and his presence is sorely lacking the rest of the franchise. It really is.
Especially these new ones.
Um,
But this one for me, dude, I love it so much because this one has the best, besides the third one, Halloween atmosphere. Of all that Michael Myers Halloween films, this one was actually shot in the fall for once. When I watch it, I have the feeling Michael's Mask is my second favorite of the franchise. I love the feeling, the overall, those things about it really add I know it's a mess. The story is definitely a mess, but like, it gives me that awesome feeling. This is my third favorite of the franchise, by the way. So it really works for me. I get it doesn't work for people because it is a mess and the editing sucks and the guitar riffs are terrible. But like, I do just love it, honestly.
yeah, again, it's like another one where I think it's kind of like mid tier in the franchise. I think it's pretty good. Like there's certainly a lot of things to take away from it. I kind of like the whole ritualistic aspect of it.
Yeah,
I think that's a cool idea that they took the story in that direction.
it's different.
Yeah, it's very different, and I kind of appreciate that. I wanted something different. When you're getting into part 6 in a franchise, you need different.
Yeah,
You need to switch it up, and they do, and I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think the mask in this one is really creepy. It's very different from the other ones. It's a creepy ass mask, though.
The Mask is great. I love it. I love the hint. I love the performance. I love Michael's look. He's just ferociously brutal.
Yeah.
And we don't have to go into different cuts. I like the producer's cut a little bit more because it's more coherent. But I don't know, man. This one just really works for me. Like, that's the best way I can tell it. I know I can understand when people say this is the worst or they love it or hate it. I can totally understand it. For me, I really love it.
It's. I also really like Paul Rudd in it.
He's great. He's super
He's
creepy.
really good. He's really creepy as a young Tommy Doyle.
He's better than the new Tommy Doyle. No offense, Anthony Michael Hall.
Oh, Anthony Michael Hall is getting called out now.
It's not his fault. It's the script's fault. Anyway, but Halloween 6, Halloween the Curse of Michael Myers, Paul Rudd's good. I like how they focus on that new family for once. So, yeah, Jamie gets Jamie's character is totally disrespected, and I hate that about that. I really hate in both cuts. I hate how they just throw her aside like a rag doll. But I like the new characters. I like that they actually do something. They have a purpose to the plot. All of them, even if some of them are assholes. Like they're better than five. They don't. Five characters don't do shit. This one they actually do things. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the. I don't know the actress's name, but whoever the new lead actress is, I actually really like her in this movie.
Yeah, she's great.
I think she's really good in this, and I don't think I ever saw her in anything else. I don't know what else she did, but she's really good. I like her.
Yeah.
They
Same.
do kill supposedly Danielle or Laurie's niece in like the first 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's
Pretty
bad.
brutally too. Yeah, that's a pretty brutal death too. I'm like, God damn, like I don't know, it's pretty awful.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know. It ranks somewhere in the middle for me in terms of overall franchise. Maybe like, okay, so what would you rate it? What would you rate it?
Um, honestly, I don't care. I know it has problems. All these films have problems, but for me, I love it so much. I love both cuts, even though the producer's cut is a little more coherent. I'd give both cuts 5 out of 5. I just really the Halloween franchise to me is like one of my favorite things ever. So like I rate them very highly because they mean a lot to me. And of course, it's not like they're Bergman or like PTA. I know they don't have to be like that kind of auteur shit, but like they resonate with me, and especially my top three, which is Season of the Witch, the original, then this one, or just I watch every October. They put me in that feeling. It's just I just love them. So I give this one a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10.
I give it a 5 out of 10, but it is one of the ones that I rewatch pretty much on a yearly basis. I
That's
haven't seen
totally
it in a
fair.
while. Yeah,
That's
I
totally
do, but
fair.
it is again, it's like one of those that I like. Again, you and I are big horror movie fans.
Yeah,
Even when we rate a horror movie kind of low, we're still gonna watch it, like because
yeah,
it's like, what? It's a horror movie. You gotta watch it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd
And yeah, I
watch
still enjoy it.
every one of these films except for this next one. I'll let you introduce it.
Halloween H2O.
20 years later.
20 years later. Um, Awful title, by the way.
Horrible title. Ugh.
This is obviously Brody's favorite movie in the franchise.
Oh, how'd you know? How could you
Um,
guess?
by the way, I can't believe how badly they squandered this with such a great cast.
They completely
I
wasted this
mean,
idea.
they got a young Josh Hartnett, a young
Michelle
Michelle
Williams.
Williams. Yes, and by the way, Michelle Williams may be my favorite actress of all time,
She
and they
is
don't do anything
excellent.
with her.
She is
Yeah.
an excellent actress, and they don't do shit with her. And you go ahead first. I don't want to. Just go ahead first.
No, this movie's pretty bad. It arguably has the worst mask
It
in the
is the worst
franchise.
mask. Masks,
Um,
plural. There's more than one.
yeah, oh yeah, the digital one is one of the worst things I've ever seen on screen.
That
Um, the story doesn't really make a lot of sense.
no atmosphere.
I always forget that like Joseph Gordon-Levitt has a cameo in like the very beginning of the movie too.
Yeah, the beginning's the best part. It really is.
Yeah, the beginning is cool. I like the beginning.
It's actually
Aside from that,
something.
it's kind of just bad. The nurse from the original's in it too, right?
She does more in this than Halloween Kills. I'll give it
Yeah, she
that.
does.
God damn.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that it's just such a disappointment. And I think Steve Miner directed this, and he had like a lot of slasher movies under his belt. I don't think it's shot poorly, but it's definitely not up to
It's bland
like the standards of Halloween 6 or Halloween 4.
or anything
You know,
in this
it's
series.
just not. Yeah, I don't agree with. I don't think it's the worst in the series. But it's pretty bad. It's pretty damn bad.
I'm sorry to any fans out there. I hate this movie. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. This is the one I've seen the least amount. I remember growing up, I watched this one in kind of like parts. My buddy and I last year went through all of these and just kind of like we play this game where we just get super drunk and watch movies, good and bad. And we got to this one. I remember the DVD menu was the best part because it was so not fitting with the movie. It was like a Rob Zombie cover art. It was so like I don't know what the fuck it was. So that was already off to a good start. But then as it went on, I just hated my life watching this movie. It's just so it's boring. There's no atmosphere. Michael sucks. Laurie sucks. The story sucks. It's nothing but jump scares. This movie is full of fucking jump scares. Every 5 minutes, a character turns around and someone's there, and this fucking noise goes off. Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. fucking Jamie Lee Curtis. I didn't see just full of jump scares. Michael Myers is barely in this fucking movie. When he shows up, I want to laugh until I die because he looks like me in a Michael Myers costume in a mask. He looks like this. He looks like that high schooler who like runs like Naruto the whole time. The masks are horrible. You see his fucking eyes. Dude, I hate this one. I don't understand why this one's so popular. I don't want to dog someone for liking this. You can like whatever you like. For me, I don't see the appeal of this. It is everything wrong with horror movies, in my opinion. There is nothing in this movie. Nothing that I like. Even Jamie Lee Curtis looks like she wants to just fall asleep. She's an alcoholic, Garrett. No, that's mean. She's traumatic. She doesn't like this time of year. You can clearly tell from her annoyed face. And she has 2 glasses of wine at lunch. 2. Oh my fucking god, she's a hardcore alcoholic. Wow, Lori. I can just feel your annoyance. I can tell because you don't want your son to fuck Michelle Williams so bad, but you finally let him go. God, I hate this movie. I'm sorry. I really this one really rubbed me in all the wrong places, man. Especially the ending. We'll get to that in a second. I hate this one. I really do. I hate it.
Yeah, I'll say this. It's got one thing that I like in it, and that's that Janet Leigh makes a cameo in it, and I think this was like maybe a year before she died.
Yeah, it's great, but she comes in with a jump scare. One of the fucking many jump scares. I'm sorry, Miss fucking Curtis. I didn't mean to scare you, and I did like the Psycho reference. I did like her car, but it's not subtle. Did you know that the scene where she sees... There was a scene at the town. The actually only good scene besides the beginnings when she fights with her son in town. She was supposed to run into the actual Mike Myers, like Austin Powers Mike Myers, and like make a joke that he would walk off set. I'm like, who? What movie is this? Is this just like a parody? Are you guys just making a joke? Because this isn't funny. Like, it's a boring slog. Even the bad Halloween films like Resurrection is bad. That one is funny. This one is not funny. I just want to fall asleep. It's the longest 90 minutes of my life. I hate it. I fucking hate it, man. I'm sorry.
And I'll say this. The ending has one of the biggest cop-out endings of all time.
I love the ending. I love Resurrection. I love Resurrection because it fucks this movie over so bad. It's hilarious that they actually did that. We'll get to that at the next one. But
no, I mean... Let's go straight into the ending. She chops his head off.
Well, no. We got to build up to the ending. This is where my problems start with
that. Go ahead. All right, let's go. Go ahead.
So
I'll let you go first.
I like how she fights back. She gets him. He's incapacitated. She's able to kill him. But LL Cool J, for some reason, who's in this movie, comes in and says, "No, Lori, don't kill him. That's wrong." I'm like, "No, fuck, kill him. What do you mean, don't kill him?" And then so the cops show up. And then Lori's sitting there. She's thinking, wait a minute. I have to kill him. So she steals a cop's gun. Felony number 1. She steals an ambulance. Felony number 2. She's driving away with Michael in the back. Like, what's your plan? What the fuck what are you going to do? So she's driving. She sees Michael getting out of the body bag. And instead of stopping the fucking van and just blowing his head off with the gun she stole, she continues driving. Until finally she, cuts the brakes, he flies out, she hits him, they roll down the hill, and he's pinned in between the van and the tree. And we have that sort of cool moment where she chops his head off. I'm sorry. That ending is stupid. Why did you do all those things? What was the plan? What was your plan, Lori? What was it? Was that it just worked out for you because he got pinned and you chopped his head off? I hate it, dude. I fucking hate it. It's ridiculous. How do people watch this and say, "Oh yeah, this is one of the best to see"? I don't see it. I can see someone hating 3. I can see someone hating 6. I just don't see the appeal of this one. I really don't. I'm not trying to be a dick either. I just don't. I don't see it, man. The mask. Did you know? So the one mask they shot with, the alien one, that was Steve Miner's pick. He wanted that one so badly. But the Weinstein said, "No, bro, that one's shit. Let's make a new one." So Stan Winston, the legendary Stan Winston, came in and made the mask we see in the movie, which is probably the worst of the 3. That one is terrible. His hair looks like Spiky, you can see his fucking eyes, dude. You're not supposed to see his eyes.
Yeah, you should never see his eyes.
Plus, didn't his eyes get shot out in two? So what happened to his eye? I'm sorry. I'm thinking way too much into this. Fuck. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to just take the reins to that
Yeah.
one.
Oh, you're good.
Half star. 0 out of 10.
Sorry.
Fuck that movie. I hate it.
I think this is like a 3 out of 10. I think it's really bad.
My least favorite of the series. I'd watch any other sequel besides. I'd never want to watch that one again. I'm serious. I'd never have any interest to watch that again, ever, in my life.
I don't think I hate this as much as you do, but
Just
garbage.
garbage.
Yeah,
Garbage
it's
poster
bad.
too. Garbage poster. Garbage title. Garbage movie.
And they squandered it. I don't know how they convinced Jamie Lee Curtis to come back. I don't think she would ever come back, but I mean, yeah.
I read up
Awful.
that she was on a contract or that they paid her a lot of money and she donated to charity, which good for her. I'm glad she came back and said, fuck it. If I'm coming back, kill me, please. And they do. They fucking... Resurrection. 2002 or 2001? Well, I don't know what year it is. I think it's 2002.
2002. Yeah.
Look, the best way I could describe this movie is I put it in my review I did of the whole series for my website. This movie is a joke, but it's a funny one. That's the best way I could describe it. It's a fucking joke, but I think it's hilarious. It's so bad it's good. I think it's great in that aspect. But it still sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I agree with you. All right. I want to talk about Halloween Resurrection and Busta Rhymes.
Hey, to be fair, I'm defending Busta Rhymes. This movie is not his fault. I think he's the best part. He is the funniest. He's the most he's very charismatic. He's got the best character. I love him in this. He came in here and said, "I'm gonna have a good time," and he did. This is people who say this movie sucks because of him. No, it's the director, it's the writer, and it's the studio. Their fault. Busta Rhymes had nothing to do with any of those things. He just had a job and he did the job. And I like him in this. I think he's fucking hilarious. He's great.
I think he's really funny in this movie.
He's so good. I love it.
I think he's really funny in this. Story again, no fucking sense to me. Like,
Yeah.
zero sense.
It ruins
to me.
H2O, and I love that about it.
Yeah, that's the one cool thing. I like the opening. The opening is really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Obviously Laurie dies, and you've got that one guy who's talking about John Wayne Gacy and all the people he killed. I'm like, oh, this is all pretty creepy, actually.
Yeah, I like that scene where he's walking away and he's explaining his stats basically like an NBA player. Like, that was kind of cool.
Yes, yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool.
The mask is good.
Mask is good. I like the lead actress in it. I always forget her name too.
Same.
God, I always forget her name. She was on like a sitcom called like Rules of Engagement. She's actually a pretty good actress. I just don't think this is a good movie.
Yeah, it's not. I like the kid who she's flirting with over on. Always forget his name. He's in a bunch of other movies like Final Destination 3. He's great.
Yeah,
I like him.
Yeah, he's good too. Yeah, he's good too. Again, I don't have a lot to say on this one except for it's one of the weakest ones in the franchise.
Yeah.
I also think this is like another like 3 out of 10 to me. Maybe a 2 out of 10. It's pretty bad.
This is the one that every Halloween fan universally hates, which I can totally understand. I don't hate it. I think obviously it's shit, but like it's like I say, it's a joke, but it's a funny one. Rick Rosenthal's direction is horrible. The writing's horrible. Actually, I don't know if you knew this. This was a separate script. This is like a 10 Cloverfield Lane situation where it was a different idea. They just threw Michael Myers into it. Like the whole webcam series thing this was a different idea that this writer who said, hey, I have this idea. And Mustafa Akkad's like, perfect, make it. Then they had that awful excuse where Laurie killed a paramedic. I love it. That just always makes me die of laughter. I love it. It's so, like, this is like The Room. So bad it's good, you know?
That's fair. I don't disagree with that. It's pretty fun.
It is fun. Busta Rhymes telling off Michael.
It's still like a really awful. I think it's like awful, but like it's a fun movie.
Trick or treat, motherfucker! Dude, come on, this is great. This is a great movie. Seriously, watch it like drunk with friends at a Halloween party. It's a blast. It's a fucking blast.
Oh, what's your rating for it, by the way?
I gave it a 1 out of 5, or what is that? 2 out of 10.
Yeah, because I think I'm right there with you.
I like
But
The
I think
Mask.
we agree that even when you give you a movie a 1 out of 5, it can still be a lot of fun and
Yeah,
rewatchable.
it's the
Yeah,
second to last.
and I agree.
It's the second to last in my ranking. Um, but Michael
It's
Myers'
second
mask
to
is
last
good.
for me too.
Yeah, Michael Myers' mask is good, and I like Busta Rhymes. So those are my 2 stars, or two out of 10, I guess. Two things.
Okay. Yeah, 2 out of 10 for me too. This is second to last for me, but I think you and I have different movies in last place. I think H2O is last for you, right?
Yeah. By the way, at the end we should go over our rankings. I have it on my letterbox. We can just read them off at the end.
Yeah, yeah, I'm down. I'm down to do that.
So next, we can kind of just run through Rob Zombie's 2 films. The first one, 2007. The first one, I'm not gonna lie, man. This one is also like I have it ranked a little higher than Resurrection and rating, because it has a lot of positives. I love Rob Zombie's Jesus direction in all of his films. He's a really good director. I love that he has this style and he just refuses to give it up, except for um, um, Lords of Salem, great movie, highly recommend it. That's his only like artsy film. But I love his hardcore hillbilly style. He just does not give a fuck. It doesn't work for this story. Especially the first half of this movie is completely unwatchable, but it's so fucking funny. I can't help. Dude, every time I watch the first one, I just laugh my ass off. It's a fucking great comedy. It is so funny.
I'm also fascinated by the hillbilly thing that he brings to all of his movies, because
It's
he
great.
himself is not a hillbilly. I don't know where that comes from.
No, I watched an interview with Joe Rogan. He said that he grew up like as like a son of a carny. Like he grew up around carnivals and like all that. Like he grew up in that lifestyle, and he really does a good job with it. Because I mean, it's so authentic. He just does not give up. I love how he just doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't mean it's good. My brother hates these 2 movies. I mean, he hates the second one more. We quote the first one so much. Ronnie, the stepdad in the intro, is one of my favorite film characters. He is
He's fucking
relentless.
hilarious.
William Forsythe,
He's
man.
hilarious.
I met him in real life. Really
Yeah.
nice guy. Super, super cool guy.
Is
He
he a hillbilly in real life?
No, dude. So this is what happened. Long story short, I was at Horror Hound. I recognized him from a movie called 88 Minutes with Al Pacino. I'm like, oh my gosh, you work with Al
I've seen
Pacino.
that. That's it. I've seen that. He's in that.
Yeah, yeah. He plays the FBI guy. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? Super gentleman, like comb back hair, like slick. And I'm like, and I looked down, and I saw he was Ronnie because he had pictures of himself as Ronnie. I'm like, oh my gosh, you were Ronnie? He's like, oh yeah, I was trashy Ronnie. He had a fun time playing that character, which I could see it. It's super nice guy. I should have got his autograph, but he's the best part of this movie. I'm serious. He is so funny. The first it's 3 minutes. The first 3 minutes, that breakfast scene is just fucking hilarious. I just die laughing.
Hilarious.
The lines are
He's such an
ridiculous.
asshole, but it's so funny.
My favorite line is he says, "Maybe I should choke the chicken, purge my snorkel over them flappy ass tits." That is absolutely, I love it. It's so good. I love it. I really do like this one. I know it's kind of lower in my ranking, but it is so entertaining, good and bad. You know?
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. It's really fun. And I'll say this. I agree with you. I think Rob Zombie's direction is really good. I think his
Super good.
scripts are awful.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I don't know if he writes his own scripts.
he does.
It's usually the scripts that are so bad.
He
Yeah.
does, man. Which good for
But
him.
yeah, oh totally. And then if you ever like go into interviews with him, he's a hardcore horror fan.
Oh yeah, yeah,
He's one of us, you know.
yeah.
And so I've always appreciated him. And even though I'll say that I like this first one. I think the script is terrible.
Yeah.
But he shoots it so well. I think it's really well directed. Actually.
Oh, I know. He does that brutality, shaky cam, so fucking beautiful. Like the way he shoots Michael, especially in the third act, where it's basically just a remake of the original, which I still like, is so unsettling. It's just a ramped up, hardcore hillbilly version of the original. I think it's kind of cool that we have that, you know?
Oh yeah, totally.
Good Mask, good Michael, good Loomis. I like Malcolm McDowell's Loomis.
Yeah, McDowell's a really good Loomis,
Hmm.
and it's so weird that they changed his vibe in the second one. He's such an asshole in the
Yeah,
second
we'll
one.
get to that. But I like Brad Dourif as Sheriff Brackett, a better Sheriff Brackett than the original by far.
Oh, definitely.
Great
Because I
Sheriff
think it's
Brackett.
Charles Cyphers in the original.
Yeah, he's not
Um,
bad. It's just the character just is just a dick in the
yeah,
original,
they don't really give him much to do in the original.
especially in Halloween Kills. But at least in this one, Brad Dourif does something, and he's just a good actor and a good character. I really like. There is some strong stuff in this. The problem is the dialogue really brings it back. But I also appreciate how he just doesn't care. So like for me it's a mixed bag. This one's a mixed bag because I love a lot of things about it, but I also hate a lot of things about it. But I respect him for just going for it, especially in the second one, which we'll get to in a second. So this one, I like the second one better, but this one I still have it. It's higher than most that you'll see at the end for my ranking. I really like this one though, in a way.
Oh, I have it high, higher rated than a lot of other people. And that doesn't mean I have it rated super high either.
What's
Like
your
I think
rate?
I
What's your
have it.
rating?
My rating for it is like a 6 out of 10,
Okay,
3 out of 5. I actually think it's really good. I like Danny Trejo's relationship with Michael in the very beginning.
brutal scene,
Um,
brutal. That's one of the hardest scenes to watch.
yeah. 'Cause what does he say to him? And it's a really effective line. It's like, "I was good to you,
That was good
Mikey."
too. Yeah,
Right?
and I remember when
I
I
was like,
first saw him,
"Oh,
like, oh, he killed him. Like, I mean, that's good writing. Part of it, some good writing in that movie. I gave this one a 4 out of 10 because, um, I I would say it's a bad movie, but I still like it. It's really hard for me to explain. It really is. I don't know how else to say it that I like it. I also don't like it, but I respect it. Um, which the second one, I think I like and respect more because do you just want to jump in the second one?
yeah." Wait, sorry, you cut off for a second
No,
there.
you're good. I said you want to jump in the second one then.
Yeah, all I'll add to the first one is I like Tyler Mane, making him as yeah.
Good, Michael.
I think he's a good Michael because he's so huge.
He's
He's like
brutal.
7 feet tall.
He looks great in the
He,
first one too.
yeah, he played Sabretooth in the original X-Men trilogy.
Yeah,
He's really good. He's a big guy, and you feel his physicality
yeah.
um, throughout the movie. Like, and he runs like I don't think I'd ever seen Michael run before.
Mm-hmm.
He sprints at what's her name, Scout Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, at the end of the first one.
At the very end of the first one, he sprints at her, and I'd never seen that. And I remember like seeing that, and just like my heart dropped for a second because I was like, "Holy fuck!"
I would not want to deal with his Michael, which I met him in real life. Super nice guy. You can meet all these people at these horror conventions. He was really tall, of course, but he was nice too.
Is he as tall as he looks?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm only 5'9", so like compare like next to him, it's like, jeez.
Oh man, yeah.
No, he's a good
See,
Michael.
I'd love to. He is a really good Michael. I agree. He's a really, really good Michael.
I like the mask. The mask is good. Like one of the best masks in the series.
Totally, I agree. The mask is really good. Yeah, like I said, I think it's a 6 out of 10. Again, I liked that they brought back Danielle Harris.
Yes, she was great.
That was cool.
She was great.
I still think of her oddly enough as the little girl though, so it is unsettling to see her have like sex scenes in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. But like, hey, Rob Zombie. She should. I think she should have played Lori. That'd have been kind of cool.
That would have been really cool.
But she was
Yeah.
good as Annie. I'm glad she survived for the second one, even though she's not really in the second one as much.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on it.
Okay.
It's good though. I like it. Let's get into Halloween. Let's get into Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
The other most universally hated film, and look, I was one of those people. I used to hate this one. This used to be at the bottom of my list. Blah 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 blah. I recently went through Rob Zombie's films this year, and I kind of grown to appreciate his style and him more because he just seems like you said, a horror fan. And I'm like, you know what? I gotta give him some credit. So like, I finally put aside the series when I watched these two again. The first one, I still felt the same. Maybe a little. I liked it a little more. This one, I'm like, you know what? I see the light. It's the most different of any Halloween film besides 3. it really touches on PTSD and mental health in a very interesting way. Laurie is so way more interesting. Michael, the White Horse shit is kind of weird, but like I like that Rob Zombie said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do my own thing, and he really did his own. He swung for the fences, and I really think he not hit a home run, but he hit a good fucking hit. You know, I do like this one. I know people hate it. And I completely get why people hate it.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the hated boat of this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of positives to say. I'll say this. I'll give you two positives. I like the direction,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciate Rob Zombie just going for it and trying to make his own thing out of this.
Yeah.
Um, that's kind of it, though. I don't know. I don't like. I don't like the fact that they kind of show his face.
Yeah.
With his long ass hair. Like that is just sacrilege to me. It's already bad enough that H2O shows his eyes. To show his entire face, that's like no, you can't do that. The White Horse thing makes no fucking sense to me. It's just an excuse to put his wife in there, Sherry Moon Zombie, who I don't think is a good actress in general.
Yeah.
Seems like a very nice lady. They both seem like really nice people. I just don't think she's a good actress.
She's good in Lords of Salem. Sorry.
I'll give you that one. I do like Lords of Salem. That's a good one. Man, I can't. I hate this movie.
I get it, dude. I totally get it. It's the most not Halloween film since Halloween 3. I mean, we're not counting that one here, but like
even Halloween 3. I don't know. I feel like Halloween 3 is a good movie though. I like it. It's a very Elseworlds, Twilight Zone-y type of Halloween movie, and I don't get that with this one. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see him, like he's walking around through like the fucking forest or whatever the fuck he's doing. Yeah, I'm like, what is he doing? Like, come on now.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? This is still Halloween, right? Like, I don't know.
I get the feel though with this one. I still get that Halloween feel and atmosphere. I just love how he just makes this.
Again, I'll tell you what. I do like Scout. She's good in it.
She's
I like
way better in this one.
You know how affected she is by what happens in the first one. Yeah, I don't have a lot of other positives to say about this one. This is one of those. This is the half star for me.
This is your least favorite, I'm assuming.
Yeah, easily my least favorite.
Totally fair.
Of all of them.
Dude, I used to be that person. I used to be. I don't think it's perfect. Film Twitter loves this movie. Well, some people do, and hey, good for them. I don't think it's a perfect 5 out of 5 stars. There's a lot of things I don't like about it, like Loomis. Again, I like that Zombie is doing his own thing. I like that he's taking risk. Not with Loomis, though. Loomis is the heart and soul of these films, and him turning into an asshole, like, clout-chasing fuckhead, I know he has an arc at the end, but I don't like him on screen. He's just, like, it's just heartbreaking to see him like that. So, for me, I hate that. The dialogue is also...
Yeah, that's one of those things I hate, too. I'm like, why is he a dick?
I know.
Why is he a dick all of a sudden? It makes no fucking sense.
It's a risk.
It's like the heart of the movie.
Yeah.
No, it's awful. And with Malcolm McDowell of all people, like he's so great. He's always so awesome, and like I don't know. I thought it was a bad decision to do that.
Very bad. Yeah, that's bad. Dialogue is still hillbilly, but he still does it. That intro with the two guys carried Michael, they hit a cow. I laugh my ass off every time because I could just imagine Zombie sitting down like, okay, how does Michael escape? The two idiot redneck asshole drivers are driving and they hit a cow. Brilliant. I fucking love it. I love how stupid that is. I love their dialogue is horrible. They're talking about doing horrible things to a corpse. It's so Zombie though, you know? It's so soft. Jesus Christ. Oh.
I'll say that the deaths in the very beginning with those drivers pretty brutal. I do enjoy those deaths.
And Octavia Spencer in the hospital. God damn, one of the most brutal kills in the series.
By the way, how did he get Octavia Spencer in this movie?
That was before she was in The Help, I think, where she won her Oscar.
Okay, that's fair then. I don't. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of this one, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's okay.
I don't like this one at all.
But I also like how Zombie gets old school horror actors in his films. Like you got Ken Faree in the first one. I mean, you know, all those guys. They're always in his films. I really like how they seem to love him. And you know what? I like him too. I really like Zombie. I still got to watch
he seems like a great dude. he's like the horror version of Zack Snyder to me, where I'm not a fan of a lot of their films.
Yeah.
I appreciate them as like guys that they almost seem like they would have hung out with us
Yeah.
if we all went to high school together, and they just happened to they made it. They're filmmakers, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah. But I get it, man. I get why you don't like this. I get why people don't like this. I do. I gave this one a 3 out of 5. That's the highest I would give it because I just really
Yeah,
I don't watch this one as much, but every time I do watch it, I grow to like it more. But for now, it's a 3 out of 5, 6 out of 10 for me.
yeah, this is a half star for me.
Totally understand.
um, so do you want to talk about the Halloween 2018 now?
Yeah, I don't have much to say about this one because I was very disappointed. Here's my main problem with these new ones. They retconned all of them besides the first one. They could have watched every sequel, even Rob Zombie's, and said what worked, what didn't work, and did their own thing. But dude, they did nothing new. These new ones are just they take little pieces from each of the films, put them in these movies, and say, "Oh, ours is superior because we're nothing like the other ones." Motherfucker, there are so many. They copy so many things from other films in these. It's like I'm watching like the greatest hits of the series with these, especially 2018. You know?
I'll say with 2018, I like it feels to me more like an homage than like a we're straight up copycatting
Okay,
this
that's fair.
one.
That's fair. Yeah.
Um, so I like this one. I don't have a lot to say about it either, only because I feel like it's very much a setup for Halloween Kills.
Which is pointless.
Um,
Sorry.
no, you're. um, I you know I like the fact that he kind of doesn't. He's again he gets more brutal as like the series goes along, as the franchise goes along. I
Hmm.
like the fact that they retcon the fact that Michael's related to Laurie. I'm like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
cool with that. I really like Laurie's character. I
I
think
love her in
just
these
she's
ones.
outstanding. Yeah,
I
she's
love that. I mean, it's funny when we think about it. Like they retcon everything. He only killed 3 people back like 40 years ago. They're so affected by 3 fucking kills. Which I'm not saying that's like not bad. But like it's especially with kills. But like Lori took it to heart, and I love that she's so brittle and like just hardcore. I just hate that they focus so much on her shitty daughter and shitty granddaughter. I'm sorry, both characters suck. Both actresses suck. I love Judy Greer. She's an Archer, one of my favorite shows ever. She's great in Archer, but she is not good in these movies. She's fucking terrible. Granddaughter's not as bad. They're just boring characters, and they should
I think they're not written very well.
at all.
Specifically the granddaughter. I'm fine with Judy Greer. Again, I think they're both good actresses. I just think that they don't have the best dialogue. That's usually the problem anyway with most horror movies,
Yeah,
especially slasher movies. Is you're almost always in line for like, oh, this is gonna have bad dialogue, but let's hope the kills are cool or it's got a cool premise.
yeah.
That's usually what the hope is. And yeah, I think the same happens in this one. I enjoy it. I think the weird podcasting thing is I don't get that.
Stupid. I mean, they could have just been journalists. Why are they podcasters? Like
Yeah, I
like
don't know.
it's like this sounds like a nitpick, but they say it so much. They're like, we're
Dude,
podcasters. We're podcast. Like, just
bring it up
fucking
like
say
4 times.
journalist. You know?
Yeah.
And like, I do like there are a couple things about the 2018 I like. Laurie's great. Michael Myers is great. James Ducournau, great Michael, great mask, one of the best masks. I love my favorite scene in 2018 is the little brief moment where we hear Donald Pleasance. That's not Donald Pleasance. It's a voice actor, but that gave me chills. That voice actor also came back for kills, and I love the score for 2018. Goddamn, so pissed that it's wasted on this bland, boring, fucking sequel that's called Halloween, but it's not a sequel because it's called Halloween. I hate this new trend. But sorry, not gonna rant about that.
You mean the same trend that they're doing with Halloween? I'm sorry, with Scream
Yeah,
5
yeah.
or Screams or whatever the fuck it's
Which,
called.
sorry, Lewis, looks boring. I'm sorry. I love Scream. I love Scream 2. Scream 3 and 4 suck. This new one looks like the same shit in Scream 4. Anyway, but yeah, I don't like this new trend. Let's just call it by the original. Won't that be confusing? I mean, Candyman kind of worked because Candyman, I didn't even know there were sequels for Candyman, so I thought it was a remake, but it's really a sequel. So that one kind of worked for me in a way. I don't know why, which that one disappointed me, by the way. But Halloween 2018 is just disappointing. It had so much potential, but they didn't do anything new, and it gets
I
even
think
worse.
I'll say this: I like the homages. I like Laurie a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and she's in it a lot too, which I like.
Yeah.
Um, I also like the fact that he only kills like I think you said three. I think he kills five people apparently.
When I was talking about the
Um,
original, because like in 2018 in
oh,
Kills,
okay,
they focused so much on evil must die. Like he only killed three people. Like what? Like if he killed like 25, I mean, like okay, I can see that, but like three, and he's affected you this bad. By the way, 2018, the twist. I hate it. It's terrible. It sucks. It's stupid. They just needed Michael to get to Lori, and that's what they thought of. I hate it. It completely ruined it for me. Like that is the reason why it's so
the
far. It's
whole
bad,
thing with the doctor, right?
awful. Doctor Loomis Part Two.
Yeah, yeah. I, you see, I liked the idea of it initially, and then the more times I've rewatched it, the less I like it. Like I know I've bumped my score down for the movie overall. I
Mm-hmm.
think the first time I watched it, I gave it a 4 out of 5, and it's a 3 out of 5 for me now.
Mm-hmm.
It's I still like it overall, like the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I agree the twist not very good. I don't get why he did that.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, I want to see what it's like to have all that power. Like, why
Stupid.
would a disciple of Donald Pleasance would do that of Doctor Loomis?
Well, it makes Michael less scary
Like, I
because
don't.
he's the one that got him to escape from the bus, and he got him to Lori. So like Michael didn't really do much besides just follow a fucking rope,
Yeah,
follow a
totally.
trail.
Um, I also really like the ending of Halloween. I think Judy Greer pretending that she's super scared of him, shoots him. Jamie Lee's fighting back. I like the whole hey, he looks downstairs and she's not there, and
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was
oh
cool, but
man,
that
it's
was
like
just like, oh,
I'm just
reference.
like, oh, she's hunting him now. Yeah, I'm like, well, she's hunting him now. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I
Yeah,
dig this.
I I don't
I
know.
dig the way it flips it.
I haven't seen that since the theater. I'm not gonna lie, man. I will watch any of the sequels. I'll watch any of them. I will never watch this one, Kills, and H2O. I just have no interest in watching those ever again. We'll get to Kills in a second, but for me, I rated this one. Originally, I liked it. I gave it like a 3.5 or something, but now my definitive rating is 2 out of 5 or 4 out of 10. I don't like this one. I really don't. It's not for me.
That's totally fair. Totally fair. Again, I think it's like a 3 out of 5 for me, or 6 out of 10.
That's totally fair
I
too.
I enjoy. I think the again with most um with most horror slasher movies, the script is just not good.
No, and
But
no
I
offense to
think
Danny
David
McBride.
Gordon,
Yeah,
yeah, it's Danny McBride and a few other people, but like I like I do like David Gordon Green's direction in it. Um,
it's okay.
yeah, I mean it's fine, but yeah, again, like a 3 out of 5. It's whatever. I really want to talk about Halloween Kills now, though.
Oh God. Now,
The best movie in the franchise. No.
listen. I didn't go into this movie. I didn't go into it like expecting to hate it. I really went in like, okay, maybe they learned their lessons. Maybe it's just a fun flick. I know there's a fucking third one after this, so there's gonna be no tension. But maybe there's something in here that will be something. And I was just completely and utterly bored and just I'd rather fall asleep. Emily did fall asleep. My fiance, she fell asleep during
Oh,
this.
she hated it too.
Well, she didn't hate. She just fell asleep. I saw this with my brother. I saw this with like a group of people, and yeah, it's bad. It's honestly, it was way worse than I expected. I was just like, wow, this is complete and utter pointless bullshit filler that I just never will ever even think about again. So I know you like it. So what are your thoughts on it, man?
No, I really, yeah. It's tough because I feel like I gotta rewatch it again because I've only seen it the one time, but I feel like I need to rewatch it again. But I dig it. I
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I think I ended up giving it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Who knows? It might go down in rate. Almost every movie I watch goes down in rating after a repeat viewing. It's very rare that it goes up in rating.
Yeah.
Um, I gave it a 7 out of 10 initially. I think um, I like bringing back the old characters. I like bringing back Tommy Doyle and the nurse and um,
Yeah,
what's her name? I'm sorry,
Lindsay
whatever the other
Wallace
little girl, Lindsay Wallace.
from the
Thank you.
original. She's actually from the original too.
Yeah, I love the fact that they actually brought her back, like the real actress back and everything. I think they're all actually, they're actually all pretty good in it. I think the kills are brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we don't talk enough about the fact that Michael, especially in Halloween and Halloween Kills, likes to decorate like with people's bodies a lot.
Yeah, that goes back to the original and like the other ones, which is cool. And I'll
Yeah,
say
I
this:
do think it's cool.
my one and only positive for this movie is Michael Myers is awesome. Great mask, great performance, great kills. Like they really nailed him, which really saddens me because I hate the rest of this movie. He is so good in this that they throw in this other bullshit that I can't stand. Do you have anything else to say before? I just want to go on a little rant, so I don't want to like cut you off. If you had anything else you want to say about it, real quick.
I'll tell you what. I'll let you go on your rant, and then I'll chime in afterwards. You go
Okay.
ahead.
Here's my problems. This movie, even the bad films like Halloween 5, Resurrection, H2O, they have a three act structure. 5, I know there's a little story, but there is a three act structure. This one, to me, when I was watching this, it felt like I was watching an entire second act. This was nothing but a second act. The pacing was shit. The subplot with the mob mentality, I wanted to just roll my eyes. It was so pretentious. When Brackett said Michael's turning us, Michael's making us into the monsters, I wanted to scream as loud as I can. Subtle, guys, it's not subtle. That was horrible. They don't do shit. I love how Tommy Doyle rallies up this entire mob, and everyone in the town is a fucking idiot who doesn't know what they're doing. There's like 16 moments where Michael is down for the count, and they just stand there and look at him. It's like, guys, do something. And then they don't do shit. I hate this movie is filler, bro. It is filler the movie. I knew coming in there was Halloween Ends, so I knew there was going to be no fucking tension. When there was tension, like that Little John Big John scene where he's in the house, I'm like, oh my gosh, tension. Little John looks in the mirror and scares himself, and people laugh. I'm like, oh my. I just wanted to smack the fucking screen. Guys, stop with the comedy. By the way, in 2018, the comedy ruined a lot of scenes. This movie, the comedy came back and ruined scenes again. Danny McBride or David Gordon Green, stop writing comedy in these fucking movies. It's ruining tension. There was no tension. Where else is there? Every scene was pointless. The new character, the old characters that came back didn't do shit. The nurse was fucking. Why even bring her back? She was in like one scene and she gets brutally killed because she wastes all of her bullets. The nurse gets out of the car. I hated that scene too. The nurse gets out of the car, runs away, comes back from fucking nowhere, shoots from like 60 feet away, misses every shot. Michael opens the door and she shoots herself and she kills herself. People laugh. Oh my god, I wanted to kill myself. It was nice seeing the Halloween 3 mask. That was cool. Just as it went on, it was just like, this is the most pointless thing. And every character, the dialogue is probably the worst dialogue. I'd say worse than fucking Rob Zombie's. Hot take. This dialogue was so pretentious. Evil must die. I must be the one to destroy the evil. The evil comes back. Just everything they said, I just wanted to throw up. It's like, why are you talking like this? This is Loomis dialogue. Loomis isn't in this. He is dead. Stop talking like this. And everyone is so fucking like pissed off at this guy for killing 3 people 40 years ago. Like they're this traumatized. Like I get it. It's messed up. I can see Brackett and Laurie and Hawkins being upset because they actually had something to do with the 40 years ago. But everyone else, like, what's the big fucking night? What's the big deal? And then Hawkins' backstory with him killing that cop was so pointless. I don't give a fuck about this random cop. The flashbacks were cool because it was really well done. The guy who played Loomis really looked like Loomis. He sounded like Loomis. That was really cool fan service. But it was pointless. The ending, dude. The ending. The only time I actually liked the movie is when Judy Greer brought him to the circle and the mob came out. I'm like, oh my god, finally something. And they fucking whoop his ass. I'm thinking, this is awesome. What's going to happen? They beat him up. They stop and look at him. Brackett comes over with the gun in his head. Laurie gives an awful monologue. Michael gets up and kills everybody. And I'm just like, poorly shot too. It looked like shit. I'm like, ugh. And then he kills Judy Greer with everyone in the Myers house, like all these cops. And then it ends. I was just like, what was the point of this? I feel like I just watched a brick wall for 3 fucking hours. Dude, I don't get it. I'm glad people like this one. I'm glad it's making money. Good for Jason Blum. He's a genius. But there was nothing. This movie had nothing but Michael killing people. And if that's what you like, hey, good for you. But for me, I want a little bit more. Something more than just, hey, Michael looks cool, doesn't he? That's my rant. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. We're entitled to our opinion. I think they actually go for trying something new here with the mob stuff and all that. I enjoy like a lot of the stuff that you're complaining about. I'm almost like I get it, and I feel the opposite way. If that makes sense. I'm like, okay, I like the fact that they're trying something new. I don't like. I agree with the comedy stuff. They need to stop that bullshit. They better not have it in the third one.
Yeah.
But I enjoy that. I enjoy that aspect of it. I liked bringing back the old characters to face off against him one more time. A few people died, like really, really horrible deaths, and I was just like, oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Like the nurse. But yeah, overall, I like this one. I do.
Good.
Again, I feel like I have to rewatch it again to really get bog down my thoughts on it. I feel bad for the mental patient who everybody thought was Michael.
Danny DeVito's Penguin.
Yeah,
It's Michael. No, the fuck, it's not. And then like the whole pretentious scene where Judy Greer puts him in the hallway, and he's just like, and he jumps out the window, and then bracket says Michael's turning us to monsters. I just wanted to fucking scream like a girl. I'm like,
yeah, that was too much. You shouldn't have said that.
Like, which they took that from 4, by the way, because Halloween 4 had that little mob with the rednecks, and I think that film did it better because it was subtle. They went out, they killed an innocent man, and then they died. Easy. This one, they're like,
By the way, I'm glad you brought that up. I was gonna bring that up. I think Halloween 4 does that better. You're
way
right.
fucking better.
I do think I like the whole crowd of people and all that, and like, okay, let's kill this motherfucker who has ruined our town for basically our entire lives. Like, let's get this guy.
Yeah.
I think the firefighter scene is pretty awesome. Like, he kind of just murders and an entire horde of firefighters with axes.
Yeah, it's cool, but really, firefighters are badass people. I respect the hell out of firefighters.
Totally.
And I know Michael's unstoppable. I know the whole point is like Michael's unstoppable. You can't kill him. Maybe you shouldn't have had firefighters. Maybe you should have because like they all take their turn. Like the end, they finally get it right. They gang up on him finally, but then they stop. They stop doing it, and then he kills Brackett, Tommy Doyle. So it's like, why bring these characters back? Like, and then I'm so glad they killed Judy Greer's character because I was so sick of her. I was so fucking sick of her. Like, thank you. It looked like it felt like a dream.
I kind of predicted that one too, by the way.
Yeah.
I kind of figured they were gonna kill her off.
Yeah.
And then because I mean, she says it throughout the movie. Jamie Curtis like it has to end with him and I, and nobody gets that. And I'm like, yeah, it has to.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna assume that they're gonna kill each other off in the second movie.
I hope.
Or in the third one, like simultaneously.
I hope, man. I'm just.
And again, as a fan of the franchise, I'm kind of just hoping that it's over after Halloween ends. Like, even though I've enjoyed these new ones, the story's kind of gotta end.
Yeah, it's boring. I'm glad we still have new Halloween films. It's cool that this franchise is still going on while Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th are kind of like not for some reason. I know Child's Play it's doing something, and then Chucky the series, but like, I'm glad. The problem is like they're not doing anything new. It's just, these movies feel like the greatest hits, which that sounds cool for a fan, but for me, like, either have Michael Myers with new characters, which I think if they ever bring him back after these, like 10 years from now, bring him back, do a remake without Laurie Strode, without any of those characters, and just do something different. I mean, it might be the same thing with him.
A new story, just a brand new story.
Yeah, with the Michael Myers character. That'd be cool. Because did you hear what they're doing with this new one? Did you read what David Gordon Green's been saying?
No. What has he said?
I'm paraphrasing this, but he said something like Halloween Ends takes place 4 years later from this film, and it involves the pandemic and something politics.
Yeah, now that okay, I actually think I have heard that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I don't like that.
This has nothing to do with politics.
Nobody. Yeah.
Horror films have politics.
Nobody wants to see Nobody wants to see a pandemic in a fucking movie. We all want to get away from that shit when we're going to the theater. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
So you mean like they're
I
gonna be wearing
really hope they
masks and
don't do
like
that.
they're gonna be like news clips of the pandemic? Because if that's in Halloween Ends, I'm gonna be like, this is like movies are fictional. You know, you can like take place in fictional time. I don't see what that has to do with what's going on. And again, this has nothing to do with politics. Horror films have politics. Every horror film has politics. That's not what I'm talking about here. Why have a like if they're gonna focus on the pandemic for the storyline, I'm just gonna be like, why? Obviously, we haven't seen it yet, so we can't judge it. But that's what he's saying. So I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, what? I,
I'm also just hope. I really hope he's full of shit. Like, I hope he's lying because
it doesn't make
nobody
any
wants to
sense.
see that.
Yeah, like we go
Nobody
to
wants to
escape, like
see
you said.
pandemic in a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an escape. We're all trying to escape all this fucking mask shit and this pandemic stuff. Like,
yeah.
let's. I'm really hoping that they don't do that.
Like,
Um,
I don't know what they're gonna do because like, so like for me to watch this movie, you have to watch Halloween the original, Halloween 2018, and then Halloween Kills. Like this to me is like was like Halloween 2. They did it again. Halloween 2 again. You got to watch it with the original. Laurie Strode's in the hospital and does nothing. This one, you got it's a continuation of Halloween 2018. Laurie Strode's in the hospital and doesn't do shit. I mean, she does more in this one, I guess, but like she doesn't do shit. She doesn't do anything.
Let me
Nothing.
also say one thing though. I loved the opening. Loved it.
I
I love
unfortunately missed it. I was running late, so I got there when Tommy Doyle
Oh
was given a
man.
speech. I watched it online though. I watched the YouTube and
Okay.
I watched it on YouTube. And like, here's the thing: I love the flashback scenes, even though it's clearly fan service. But they focus so much on Hawkins. I'm sorry. I like what's his name? The actor. He's a good actor.
Oh, Will Patton.
I love Will Patton. He's a great actor. He's in a lot of good movies. I don't care for his character. I don't. I don't give a fuck that he killed some cop. They easily breeze over that, like it's nothing. They also, the movie tried to make a point where they're saying Michael's not after Laurie, he's after nobody. But they breeze over that so quickly that it's like that should have been the focus of this fucking movie, not this mob bullshit, not the pointless bringing back these characters. Put on the fact that Michael doesn't give a fuck about Laurie and he just wants to kill people and that's it. They briefly say it in a horrible exposition dialogue heavy way and that's it. It's just again wasted opportunity just like 2018. I'm not liking this storyline. I'm actually fucking crazy. Like there's different timelines in this series. There's the Thorn trilogy, there's H2O trilogy, and then there's this one. I would say this one's the worst. I know I hate H2O and Resurrection, but those feel like Halloween. These new ones don't. They feel like just these two fans who came in and got a lot of money. They're making fan service films that really have no purpose. That's just me. Sorry.
No, you're good. I disagree for the most part. I still think the dialogue is still pretty bad for the new ones. Right, they're very exposition heavy. They're very not subtle at all.
No.
I'll give you that for sure. But I'm curious as to the direction of where they go. Again, usually my scores go down for movies. Right now
Yeah.
I have it at a 7 out of 10. It could go down to a 6 out of 10 the next time I watch it. I think my overall feelings on this movie will be bogged down after I see Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
You know,
Because it's filler.
not to like jump ship, but I did not love Dune as much as other people did.
I still need to see it.
Okay, well we got to discuss that one soon.
Yeah.
I mean it's not. I like it. I just don't love it like a lot of other people do. It
Yeah.
was very incomplete to me.
Well, it's the first part, right? Like they still got to make part 2.
Yeah, but usually, like with a movie like The Matrix, like the first one, it's sort of like, it's its own story, but it leaves it open to sequels, right?
No, you're right.
If you watch Dune, I'm like, I just feel like I watched a cliffhanger of like a season 1 of a TV show. I'm like, this didn't even feel like its own story. Like I don't want to have to watch both 3-hour movies every single time I want to watch them.
Yeah.
And that's what the first part of Dune feels like.
That's how it is for this one. Like I can see myself watching Halloween 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Resurrection, Zombie 1 and 2. I can never picture myself watching this one I can even. I'd rather watch 2018 again. I mean, maybe if it's on TV and I'm bored, but this one, it's to me. I gave this 1 star for one reason. Michael Myers is awesome. He looks great. James Ducourt's great. Too bad he's wasted. 1 out of 5. What is that? 2 out of 10 or whatever. 1 out of 10. I don't know. I'm not good with math. This is pointless filler the movie. That's it should have been called Pointless Filler the movie, not Halloween Kills. So that's my take, and fuck that movie. It's third to last on my list because it's right above Resurrection only because Mike was great. It's the only reason. I would so have this in my second to last if I could, but Resurrection still has that shit stain to it more.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I give it a 7 out of 10. Again, I might go down a little bit on my ratings.
Yeah.
Who knows? I would like to hear though your overall Halloween ranks.
Okay.
Where do you go?
I have my ranking up on my Letterboxd, and I will go slow. So this is from favorite to least favorite. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. The original Halloween. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Halloween 4. Halloween 2, 1981. Halloween 2, Rob Zombie. Halloween 5. Rob Zombie Halloween 1. 2018. Halloween Kills. Resurrection, and H2 Shit. That's my ranking.
Okay. For me, it goes the original Halloween. Then I got Halloween 2.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween 4. And I got Halloween Kills. And then I got, sorry, let me see here. Oh, Rob Zombie's Halloween. And Halloween 3. And Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers. And I got Halloween 5, H2O, Resurrection, and then Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
That's a great list. What's great about the Halloween series is I've seen so many rankings this past month. There is not one definitive ranking. I'm not saying like there has to be a definitive ranking.
No, not at all.
Everyone's is so different, and I love, at least for the most part, that fans are just like, oh, that's a cool list. It's very interesting. I disagree, but I respect it because like your list, I disagree with some picks, but I respect it because the films are so different and so inconsistent in the series that everyone is going to be different. I've seen Halloween Kills at the very beginning. I've seen Halloween Kills at the very end. Vice versa. I've seen. It's just so cool to see everyone else's ranking. So like that's a good list, man. I like it.
Yeah, I'm glad that this is the type of franchise where we don't like argue and bicker the way other franchises do. We could just be like, yeah, that's cool. You know? Even if we disagree, we're still like, yeah, that's a cool list. Like I dig your list. And yeah, I've seen a lot of Halloween rankings and I look forward to seeing how they end the franchise. I'll say that.
Yeah. They might do a sequel to Halloween 3. That's what Jason Blum says. And honestly, people have been asking me my thoughts on that. And I'm honestly down to see what they do. Bring back Tom Atkins. I know Dan O'Hurley, he unfortunately passed away in 2005. Actually, the same year as Deborah Hill. Rest in peace to both legends. But I'm curious to see like what they would do with the sequel. I'm like, I'd love to see more of that. Or do Jason Blum, do the anthology. Make money, dude. That's a brilliant idea. But yeah, we'll see what happens for sure. Yeah,
I can't wait. Well, look, I'm glad we got to talk about this franchise since I know it means a lot to both of us.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite episode so far.
Yeah, we should start doing more of these franchise episodes.
I'd be down. I want to rewatch the Nightmare on Elm Street films because I haven't seen like the fucking sequels in a long time. And Friday the 13th. And I got to recommend Phantasm to you. Watch the 5 of those films. Super fucking good horror franchise.
Yeah, we definitely got to do that soon.
Down.
All right, man.
All right. Well, to the nobody who's listening, this is the film podcast that nobody listens to. We will see you next time.
Have a good one, everybody.